Say it with me. Whose house? No Cooper, no Puka, no offensive line, no problem. Rams stun the Niners, come back from 14-0 down and win it at the buzzer with a field goal. We'll break down the season-saving win for our Rams on today's edition of the Locked On Rams Postcast right now.
You are Locked On Rams Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Oh, yeah. What's going on, Ramley? And welcome to the latest and first victory edition of the Locked On Rams Postcast, coming at you live after every single Rams game. This is the place to hang out after every game on the Locked On Sports Los Angeles YouTube channel and live on the channel and after the fact, both on the channel and wherever you get the Locked On Rams podcast feed. If you don't know who I am, my name is Gavin Carlson. I'm a former credentialed journalist in the LA area and now a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day, and our team is the Rams. Oh my goodness. Right when this season looked over, you lose the first two games. Now you've got the Niners. Now Cooper's out. Now Puka's out. The whole offensive line dang near is hurt. And it's Levi's to the south. All the cocky Niners fans coming down to SoFi. I know they had no McCaffrey. I know they had no Debo. I know they had no Kittle. But they were still supposed to run over the Rams today. Touchdown favorites. They've still got the best defense in a while. And oh my goodness, this team fell down 14-0. If you told me the Rams won this game coming into today, I would have said, okay, the Rams somehow jumped out to a lead, and then despite having no weapons to throw the ball to, they just ran the ball, protected a lead, forced a couple turnovers by Brock Purdy and co., and stole a win. No. Brock Purdy was phenomenal. Jawan Jennings looked like Justin Jefferson, Randy Moss. I mean, name the receiver. And yet, despite Purdy looking great, despite Jawan Jennings filling the Debo Samuel hole perfectly with, one of the best performances I've seen by a receiver in a while, despite the Rams falling behind 14-0, despite Kyren Williams, who got a ton of carries, not even being that efficient, despite so many things. Not only was this team down 14-0 early, this team was down 10 late. This team was down 10 halfway through the fourth quarter. Or third quarter, excuse me. I can't believe it. I'm absolutely stunned. I'm absolutely fired up, though, and I know all of you are. First and foremost, before we jump into this one, we will talk about everything. A quick shout out to everybody in here. Appreciate all of you guys, whether it's your first Rams postcast after this win or whether you're some of the loyal people I've seen so far, both in the preseason and the first 2 weeks. I see some familiar faces, BC, Craig, Daniel Barry, Akura's in here as well saying, wow, it was looking grim. What a win. Thanks you so much to all of you that are here. And also a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's show, man. I cannot believe it. Shout out to the sponsor, FanDuel. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Place your first $5 bet and you'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. But come on now. Where do we start? I am stunned. I am thrilled. The Rams were down 14-0 to this defense. And I, like many of you watching this game, even the most loyal, confident Rams fans, you're thinking, we're down 2 scores. We have no line. We have no weapons. And we win this game. We win this game. We have to start with how the Rams go from 10 down to winning this game. Then we'll talk about how they went from 14 down to end this game. But to me, it starts when you're down 24-14. Rams get the ball, and they go 55 yards in 13 plays. A couple really, Matthew Stafford, 32 yards to Demarcus Robinson after a penalty. Everything went against the Rams early in this game. Penalties killing us, plays getting called back. Unbelievable Demarcus Robinson sideline catches getting overturned. Meanwhile, Juwan Jennings is mossing guys. And we win this game. I can't believe it. I mean, okay, let's talk about this drive I was talking about. Stafford immediately hands the ball off to Kyren Williams for 15. Parkinson gets called for an illegal block above the waist. And already I'm thinking, okay, this is a huge drive. You're down 24-14. You got to go and get at least 3, and you get a penalty. It's 1st and 8 at the Rams 32, and Stafford goes play action and absolutely throws a dime to Demarcus Robinson, 32 yards. Sean McVay, what he did in this game is he said, I don't care if Kyren is running 2 yards a carry. We are committing to this run game because the only way, with all of our weapons out, with our entire offensive line out, the only way we're going to win this game is if we run the ball, we stick to the run, so that when we need big time drives, we can run the play action. We can run off of, or we can pass off of the run. And because of the commitment to Kyren, even when we're down 14-0, I think like 6 of our first 8 plays were runs or something. Even when we're down 14-0, we stick with the run. So that when we're down 10, in the fourth quarter, less than 12 minutes, we can run a play action on 1st and 8 and hit Demarcus Robinson for 32. Then we can run a Tutu Atwell end around throw to Demarcus Robinson. An unbelievable play that was a completion. It's overturned. So then it's 2nd and 10. But what happens? Stafford hits Tutu for 8. Stafford then hits Parkinson for 8. Kyren with the good run. Kyren with another good run. 4th and 1, we go for it. And Kyren gets 3. And from there, we're not able to convert. You're thinking we have 1st and goal at the 8, and we don't score a touchdown. Oh man, we let this one slip away. The red zone efficiency has been a problem. We know it was a problem in the Lions game. Stafford throws a pick in the end zone. Costly. A 4th down attempt in the red zone. We don't get any points. We were like 22nd in red zone efficiency coming into today. And right here, we see it again. 1st and goal at the 8, you're down 2 scores, and you only get 3. At this point, I'm thinking, man, what a performance to keep it close, but you're down 7 with 6 minutes. Niners are going to run the ball, run the clock out, and we're not going to win this one. But what happens? Despite Purdy running for his life multiple times, that's what I mean. This was not Purdy played terrible. This was not, oh, they had no weapons and the Niners were bad and the Rams got lucky that their guys were out to counter our guys being out. No. The Niners looked good. Purdy looked really good. He was evading rushers. He was throwing dimes to Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings was catching unbelievable passes. I mean, there was a play here on 3rd and 8 at the Rams 40 with 3:08 to go. If the Rams get a 1st down, this game is probably, or if the Niners get a 1st down, this game is probably over. 3rd and 8. Purdy runs around the back, the pocket, the backfield, whatever you want to call it. He's running around behind the line of scrimmage like he's Johnny Manziel at Texas A&M. Like he's Mahomes in that Super Bowl against the Bucs that they lost, where he had to run for his life. That's how Purdy looks. He ends up scrambling for 3. He does a great thing for the Niners and stays in bounds, runs some clock, but Moody has to kick a 55-yard field goal. Huge shout out to the Rams defense for stopping Purdy on that play, stopping the Niners on that play. You force Moody to make a 55-yard kick. I know he's done it in the past, but that's a tough kick. The Rams did their job. If you could have told me coming into this game that, okay, the Rams forced Jake Moody to make a 55-yarder, and if he misses it, the Rams are going to have a chance to tie this game, I would have taken that. And so what happens? Moody misses the kick. The Rams get rewarded for being in this game when they probably shouldn't be, and now we've got life. Rams have the ball at their own 45 with 2:43, plenty of time, but you need a tud. What do you do? How about first play, 50 yards, Stafford to Tutu? And how good does this feel for Tutu Atwell defenders, for Tutu Atwell himself? This guy has been given a lot of opportunities and hasn't come through. Then he hasn't been given any opportunities. He's kind of been thrown in the doghouse. All these injuries. Who was going to step up? Was it going to be Demarcus Robinson? Was it going to be Tutu? Was it going to be a Whittington? Was it going to be Colby Parkinson? Tyler Johnson? Who was it going to be? Tutu Atwell, 50-yard catch in the clutch. He only has 5 targets, but he catches 4 of them for 93. This, the biggest play of the game. Huge play. 50-yard completion. And just like that, now it's like, wait, don't score too fast. It went from, can the Rams steal a touchdown here, to don't score too fast. McVay knows what he's doing. He runs the ball to Kyren, picks up a yard, timeout Niners, and then Kyren 4 yards to tie this game at 24. The rookie Cardi makes the extra point. I don't know about you, but I was nervous. I'm a big fan of Cardi. I think he's got the clutch genes in him, and we'll get to how he's proved that later in this game. But I was nervous on the extra point. We come all the way back. He does make it. The game is tied at 24. And then how about this defense? How about it? Verse scares all of us when he pushes Purdy out of bounds on that first down play. Thank goodness the refs do what they're supposed to. See that Purdy was in bounds when Verse makes contact with him. Does not call an unnecessary roughness, late hit. 2nd and 4, Purdy, throw to Ayuk, 4-9. Okay. 1st and 10, Purdy, incomplete to Ayuk. Good defense. 2nd and 10, Purdy chucks one deep. Ronnie Bell probably should have made this catch, let's be honest. That was probably his 2nd drop of the game, depending on who you talk to. I think it's 2 drops. I think you consider that a drop. We dodge a bullet. But then 3rd and 10, we get all over Purdy. The defensive line, the front 7 deserves a lot of credit. We have seen what the Niners have done at the line of scrimmage to opposing teams, both running the ball and pass blocking. And sure, 34 carries for 137 is not great defense, but it's pretty darn good. I will take it. I don't know the exact math on that. In fact, because I love you guys that much, I'll do it real quick. 4.02 yards a carry. Against the Niners, you will take that. So shout out to the front 7 for doing their job against this amazing run game. And they got pressure on Purdy. They only sacked him 1 time. But how many times did Purdy have to escape pressure? A lot, including on this huge 3rd down play. He escapes pressure. We're able to corral him. He only gets 2 yards. And then here is where the special teams gets it done one of the many times. The fake punt earlier in the game. We'll get to that because that was a season-saving play. But the special teams, and specifically Mr. Xavier Smith, who impressed in the preseason on returns. If you watch the preseason editions of this Locked On Rams Postcast, there was one of them where I said, Xavier Smith looks like he's got some juice, specifically in the return game. People were talking about Kyren Williams being the punt returner. No. And Xavier Smith, a 38-yard return. And just like that, the Rams are basically in field goal range because the drive starts at the 50. You need like 20 yards to be comfortable. And so Stafford, first play, I believe it is a play action, throws it deep to Parkinson. There's flags everywhere. There's 3 flags on the Niners. We ultimately take the PI call. Niners get the ball at the 26, and from this point, you know what to do. Run to Kyren. He picks up 6, spike, timeouts, all that good stuff. And Joshua Cardi has a 37-yard field goal to win the game, and he drills it. Oh, man. How good does that feel? How good does that feel? All this talk about Levi's to the south, yada, yada, yada. How about that? How about that? The Rams season ain't over. And you can take the momentum from this game and you can do some special things. The season stays alive. You buy another week for Puka, for Cooper, for the offensive line, for all of them to get healthy. Oh, man. There's life. There is life in Ramstown. We love it. We love it. When we come back from the first break here on this postcast, we'll then go back to earlier in the game and talk about what the Rams did to come behind from 14-0 and keep this game close. There was multiple times where it came down to a play that if the Rams didn't convert, a 4th down, a 3rd down, a red zone appearance, if they didn't convert any of those plays, the game would have been over and probably the season. But multiple times they came through. McVay, Stafford, and company came through, kept the game alive, kept the season alive, and then we just talked about what they did in the clutch. We'll take our first break, and when we come back, we'll talk about what they did early in this game to stay in this one. Speaking of stay with me here, right here live. Over 30 people in here live. Shout out to all of you. We'll get to your comments as well. Stick with me here on the Locked On Rams Postcast. We'll be right back. Now, today's show is brought to you by DoorDash. I love DoorDash. I mean, how can you not? Specifically, in a situation like today, you're watching the Rams game. You might think, oh, we're down 14-0, and you're maybe thinking of plans of, oh, man, I'm hungry. This game's going to be over at half. I'll go get dinner or something, a late lunch, an early dinner. And then the Rams come back, and then they keep it close. And now you're glued to the screen. You don't want to leave. You don't want to miss a single play, but you're hungry. Well, what do? You use DoorDash. I don't know how many times I've been in that exact situation where I'm watching a game and I don't want to miss it. And I'm too lazy to go make food. All I do is use DoorDash. And right now you can use code LOCKEDFALL24 for 50% off up to $10 of value when you spend $15 plus on your first order. Limited time offer, terms apply. Promo is not valid for orders containing alcohol. Remember, use code LOCKEDFALL24 for 50% off up to $10 of value when you spend $15 plus on your first order with DoorDash. Football is finally back. It means it's time to order your favorite game day food, snacks and drinks on DoorDash without missing a play. My top 3 game day essentials, I don't know about you, but I love a game day pizza. Amazing. And it's classic DoorDash, get that delivered. I love a game day burrito. Maybe I'm different from others. I love a game day burrito because I pace when I watch the game. And I can just eat a burrito while I'm walking, while I'm a foot away from the screen. It's money. And my other one, you got to have a drink. Some sort of soda. I go diet, but that's an essential as well. One more time. Use code LOCKEDFALL24 for 50% off up to $10 of value when you spend $15 plus on your first order. It's a limited time offer. Terms apply. Promo code is not valid for orders containing alcohol. DoorDash, your door to game day greatness, your door to more. Download the DoorDash app now to order your game day favorites. Must be 21 plus to order alcohol. Drink responsibly. Alcohol only available in select markets. Back here live on the Locked On Sports Los Angeles YouTube channel. This is a fired up edition, the first victory edition of the Locked On Rams Postcast. If you don't know who I am, I'm Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in LA, Rams fan, and our Rams come through. Somehow, they stun the Niners. This is the type of win you remember all year, the type of win you remember when you're in the divisional round in a couple months. Because we're going to be there, okay? We should have won that game against the Lions. We know what happened against the Cardinals. A lot of guys out, though. Cardinals are a pretty good team. And then we beat a really good team just now, today, against all odds. We already talked about, I'm sweating because I am just fired up. We already talked about how the Rams ultimately won this one, being down 24-14. And you get a field goal, and then you get a stop. You score the necessary touchdown, you get another stop, and you steal this game with the game-winning field goal. We already talked about that. Now let's get into the couple of key plays that saved the Rams when this game and this season, because I don't know about you, but this felt like a must-win game, and that's why I was really bummed coming into the game, because it feels like a must-win game, but at the same time, it feels like a game the Rams had no chance in. And yet, the injury report was already as bad as it could be for the Rams. Got a little rough for the Niners. There's a little sliver of hope, and a masterclass from a couple guys specifically, and really the whole team, steals this one. The Rams do fall behind 14-0. The game goes about as horribly as you could imagine to start. 2 punts for the Rams on offense, 2 touchdowns for the Niners. Purdy looked great. He goes 13 yards to Juwan Jennings to make it 7-0. Then again, he goes to Juwan Jennings, who made a couple unbelievable catches before making a 4-yard touchdown catch to make it 14-0. Then down 14-0, the Rams punt, their second of the game. So the Niners have a chance to put this game away, go up 3 scores right away. But a 3rd and 4, Niners get a little cocky. They go deep to Ayuk. They're not able to convert. Rams get the stop, get the ball. And then this is when the Rams stay alive. 4th and 6 with the Rams have the ball at our own 43. 4th and 6, and we run a fake punt. We run a fake punt, a direct snap to Ronnie Rivers. What a call. With the season on the line. And the things you forget, 3rd and 12, you get 6, right? Not 3rd and 12, you go for it all and it's incomplete. Smart coaching, 3rd and 12, let's get half of it so we can run the fake punt and sneak and surprise the Niners. It works to perfection. We get 7. We keep the drive, the game, and the season alive. And then from there, the offense starts getting it going. Stafford hits Whittington for 6. Kyren for 4, first down. Parkinson for 4. Then Whittington for 7, first down. Parkinson for 9. And then on 3rd and 2, Kyren for 5, first down. Just unbelievable that we're able to keep this one going. And then the big pass. McVay, like I said, he commits to the run and he gets creative in the pass game. How about a designed throw to Kyren Williams? Looked like a little Texas route for 15 yards right up the middle. He somersaults, leaps over a defender. Unbelievable. It's 14-7. The game is alive. Then the defense, after that brutal start, they come through. Talk about momentum. The punt, fake punt, keeps the Rams in it. Stafford delivers to Kyren to keep us in it. And then the defense comes through. Young forces a sack and a fumble by Brock Purdy. Recovered by Fisk. We're right back in it. We're right back in it. Unfortunately, we're not able to do anything before the half, but still. Niners can still go down, score another touchdown or a field goal, be up 2 scores going into halftime. But they're not. They're only up 7. So even when the Rams come out and go 3 and out, I was really disappointed by that. You go 3 and out after the break when you're down a touchdown, disappointing. But even though we do that, and even though the Niners then go down and score another incredible Jawan Jennings masterclass touchdown, this time he was pretty open. The secondary for the Rams is a concern, obviously. But you have to remember the little things. The fact that we're able to force a fumble on Purdy makes this touchdown by the Niners only put them up 2 scores, not 3, not 4. This game could have been over many times. Every key little play by every different unit, right? The fake punt and the punt return much later, and all the made field goals. Special teams, clutch. The defense wasn't great, but pretty good. You get the sack and fumble on Purdy. You limit them on what would have been the game-clinching ceiling drive where Purdy scrambles and all that stuff. You hold them to a long field goal that they miss. Every unit had key plays. And then the offense sticks with the run. Stafford, a couple unbelievable plays. He's evading guys. You forget that he's 35 plus. He looked just as spry and nimble and agile in the pocket as Purdy. They stick with the run. And finally, they get all the way down. A huge Tutu Atwell short pass and run for 11 at one point when you're at the 26. Just everything. Kyren had a fumble that was overturned. Crazy drive. And finally, Kyren goes left guard for 3 yards, touchdown to make it 21-14. Rams stay in the game. They limit the Niners to a field goal. It's 24-14. And then, like I said, the Rams come all the way back from 24-14. But once again, the key takeaways, multiple times this game could have been over. 14-0 fake punt. 14-0 15-yard pass to Kyren. Right? The sack fumble, all of that, everything, huge. Everyone deserves so much credit. Unbelievable game, unbelievable win, season-saving win. I'm at a loss for words, honestly, at what I just witnessed. And, this goes up there as one of the best Rams wins in a while, just given all the circumstances. Everyone counting us out. Everyone. And for good reason. This offensive line, even today, was still not good, but it could have been a whole lot worse against this Niners pass rush. You got Nick Bosa and company, and yet Stafford only gets sacked 3 times. And I say only. 3 is a lot of times. But against this front 7, you only get sacked 3 times? Stafford deserves so much credit for evading a lot of pass rushers. McVay deserves a lot of credit for sticking with the run, even though it wasn't working. 24 for 89 for Kyren is not great at all. But Kyren gets 24 carries against the Niners with nobody else. And, despite the game script saying he should not get a lot of carries, so much credit to McVay. We knew coming in it would take a McVay masterclass, a Matthew Stafford masterclass, and probably some mistakes from the Niners to win this game. The Niners didn't make any mistakes. Maybe you could say the Ronnie Bell drop that would have maybe put the game away is the only really costly mistake they made, but they played really well. The Rams won this game. The Niners didn't hand it to them. The Rams won this game. Absolutely no questions about it. When we come back, we'll break down the individual performances a little more, talk about the stats, and we'll look ahead because now the Rams season is very much still alive. We'll also get to your comments after our last break here on the Locked On Rams, victorious Locked On Rams Postcast. We'll be right back. Now, finally, today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Hey, NFL Rams fans, NFL fans, Rams fans, all that good stuff. You can start the season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. That's FanDuel.com. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. You don't even have to win the $5 bet to get the $200. It's guaranteed. One more time. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet at FanDuel.com. Take advantage of this great offer. And like it says, you don't have to change pages and all this stuff. It's all right there on the website. America's #1 sportsbook, FanDuel.com. Take advantage of that great offer. Back here live on the Locked On Sports Los Angeles YouTube channel. This is the Locked On Rams Postcast, the victorious Locked On Rams Postcast. I'm Gavin Carlson, and the Rams steal a game that they had no business winning, coming into it at least, against the Niners. I mean, it's a stunning, thrilling victory. Let's look at what the Rams, or actually we'll quickly look at some of the statistics one more time. We already talked about most of it, but Stafford, 16 of 25, 221 and a touchdown. Those stats honestly understate how good Stafford was. He was not at his best against the Cardinals, but I thought he was really impressive outside of one mistake, that end zone interception against the Lions. Otherwise, he was phenomenal in that game, and he was phenomenal today. He did everything he needed to do to win. Kyren, like we said, not efficient, but not his fault. It's a bad offensive line against a great front seven, and Kyren was resilient. He had a couple great plays. He had the big, long catch for 15 and a touchdown. He did have 2 rushing touchdowns still, so it ends up being a huge game for Kyren Williams, where he has 116 total yards and 3 touchdowns. Unbelievable from him. And like we said at the opening, Tutu Atwell, Demarcus Robinson, a couple guys with a couple big catches. Jordan Whittington, another preseason star like Xavier Smith, who has the big punt return. How about Whittington with 3 big catches, right? It only says 3 for 28, but they're key catches. When the Rams needed him down 2 scores early, he came through as well. One thing I don't get, maybe I missed it on the injury report. I don't think I did. But why is it Ronnie Rivers instead of Blake Corum? Like, I like Ronnie Rivers. But if we're going to but if we're going to use a draft pick on Blake Corum, can we use him, please? Can we use him? I don't know why we're not. Would have liked to see him balance Kyren a little bit. Ronnie Rivers is okay, but I think Blake Corum is more talented than him. But still, I'm not going to complain when you win a game like this. Braden Fisk, he recovers a fumble that was forced by Byron Young. He was great. Byron Young had the only sack of the game, but he had 2 TFLs. Troy Reeder had a great TFL. Quentin Lake continues to lead this Rams team in tackles. He's all over the place. I mean, he had one play where Juwan Jennings makes a ridiculous catch, but it overshadows the fact that Quentin Lake had unbelievable coverage on the play. Rosenboom, all over the place. 10 total tackles, including 4 solo. Cameron Curl, improving. Cameron Kitchens plays a lot of snaps today. He's improving. Kobe Turner, good game. Kobe Durant, good game. Secondary, still a lot of questions. Tre'Davious White got burned a couple times. Again, the safeties, not great, right? That big throw to Juwan Johnson, not one of the contested ones. One of the ones where he burns us, not great. There was a couple missed opportunities as well for the secondary. Tre'Davious White had a near interception. But at the end of the day, this was a great game by Brock Purdy and the Niners, in my opinion, more so than it was the secondary not being great. I mean, I do see some comments here, and valid comments here. Diligent Yeti, what a name, by the way. He says we still need to fix our secondary. Absolutely. I'm not going to say the whole thing, but Bofa says secondary is terrible. Yeah, I mean, it's not good. And it's easily was the biggest question mark coming into the season. And even with all the injuries at wide receiver, it's still the biggest question mark of this roster for sure. I mean, even with the offensive line being probably one of the worst in football, the secondary probably the biggest question mark. Because you can scheme around an offensive line. McVay's proven that. It's hard to cover, when you don't have anybody competent in the secondary. But they did enough. They did enough. This is a young defense that's going to get better. Maybe not the secondary, the oldest part of this defense, but still, we'll take the win. Everyone deserves a lot of credit. It was a bend, don't break mentality from this defense. The special teams was able to come up with a couple huge plays to overcome the weaknesses of the defense, and the team gets it done. I mean, wow, just absolutely wow. If I had to pick one player of the game, it's still probably Matthew Stafford. I know it's boring to pick the quarterback, but just everything he was able to do, evading pressure, couple huge clutch throws, that 32-yarder to Demarcus Robinson, a couple great, I mean, that throw deep to Tutu on the money, as perfect as it could be. Also an underrated thing, a lot of adjustments at the line of scrimmage. You're hearing them kill every other play, right? Adjustments at the line and reading the Niners, fantastic defense. So he's still my player of the game. But yeah, what a win. What a win. Let's quickly, I mean, I'm out of breath. I'm so excited. I've been yelling, obviously, during the game. Wow. Let's quickly look at the schedule going forward. Now, this team has life. You're at the Bears, who I believe lost today, who I think were a better team than. Caleb Williams has not hit the ground running at all. And we have the better quarterback. We have the better coach. And I don't think we're getting Cooper or Puka back, but I think the Rams can win this game despite all of that, showing what they showed today. Then you're at home against the Packers, who by then, Jordan Love might be back. They've looked pretty darn good without him. They absolutely killed the Titans today with Malik Willis. They killed the Colts last week with Malik Willis. So the Packers are playing really well. But if we can get one of the receivers back by then, maybe the offensive line gets a little bit healthier and better by then as well. Maybe you can still win against the Packers. But then you've got the Raiders. That's a must win, right? So if you can beat the Bears, if you can beat the Raiders, even if you lose to the Packers, you're now 3-3, right? And that's perfectly fine. Starting the season 0-2 with all the injuries with the Niners and Packers after that, the beginning of your schedule, easily the hardest part of your schedule. 3-3, I would take in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Then you've got Vikings, Seahawks, Dolphins, Patriots. You got to win at least two of those, right? And I think you can. So we're talking like 5-5. Then you got Eagles, Saints, Bills, Niners, Jets. That is tough. That is tough. Even if you go 2-3 there, you're like 7-8. And if you can win your last two against the Cardinals and Seahawks, 2 home games, you finish 9-8, and you maybe sneak in the playoffs. That's kind of, if I had to make a rapid fire prediction on how the season could go, that's my prediction right there. Beat the Bears, lose to the Packers, beat the Raiders, you're 3-3. Then win 2 out of the next 4. Probably you beat the Dolphins, depending on how Tua looks, and certainly you beat the Patriots. You can very well beat the Seahawks in Seattle, and you can beat the Vikings at home. I mean, just because they've been amazing so far doesn't mean they're actually elite. We don't know that yet. So very easily, this team could be 5-5. Then, like I said, win even 2 out of those 5 against the Eagles, Saints, Bills, Niners, Jets. There's no reason why you can't win 3 of those 5, but I'm going to be conservative here. You win 2 of those 5. And if I'm doing my math correctly, you're 7-8 before you host the Cardinals and host the Seahawks. You win both of those games. Hopefully by then the team is healthy. You're 9-8, and I think you sneak in the playoffs, and that is good enough because this team in the playoffs, they can get it done. We have the talent, we have the quarterback, we have the coach. So that's my forecasting of the season now, given this huge season-saving win. Hopefully I'm right. Hopefully I'm wrong, and I was too conservative, and we go 3-2 in that stretch, and maybe we do beat the Packers or something like that. We'll see. But the fact that we can even look forward and say that this team could be 9-8, that this team could sneak in the playoffs, given we're 0-2 and down 14-0 to the Niners without Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, hey, unbelievable stuff. We will take it. So we're going to wrap this one up. A couple great comments in here. I'll quickly shout out, BC going crazy. Go Rams. What a game. I'm not going to say LA is greater than SF because I am from the Bay Area, but in terms of the Rams over the Niners, absolutely. Craig says Rams win a must-win game. Craig also say this win makes your day. Yes, because it's been a rough couple of weekends for me. UCLA, back-to-back losses. Their season's over. Rams obviously start 0-2. That was brutal. Every night's brutal with the Angels, although I'm hearing that the Angels won today, so we'll take that. That's a miracle. But yes, so happy. Akura says Tutu finally given an opportunity to help. He also says it was looking grim. Absolutely. Jerron, I hope I'm saying that correctly, says tough game. Stafford, though, yeah. Craig says vintage Stafford. History man, he says, what a game. Go Rams. Rams have now won 2 in a row against the 49ers. Been a while since that's happened. Yes, absolutely. So excited. So excited. Willie Brown says Jordan Whittington needs a receiving touchdown. He probably deserves one. Some of the things he does, very Cooper and Puka Nacua-esque in terms of getting dirty in there, blocking really well, making contested catches. I like Jordan Whittington a lot. But yes, BC says team was outgained by 100 yards and won, a reverse of the Detroit game. Exactly. Water levels out, right? And so we deserve this win. We really did. Just looking at these last couple of comments, Rams and Dodgers win, brother. Let's go. I'm not worried about the Dodgers, but yes, absolutely love it. Dodgers says, hell nah, they got a Bay Area kid talking LA sports. I'm sick. Hey, I've been in LA the last 5 years. I'm a former credentialed LA journalist. I'm a Rams fan. I hate the Niners. When you grow up in a city not liking that team, you hate that team. All right? And so my family's from New Orleans, so you might not like me for this, but my other team is the Saints. I'm going to be completely honest with you, and my Saints did lose today. But I've grown up and I've born and raised in the Bay Area despising the Niners and liking the Rams. And then I come to LA and I really like the Rams. So I know I'm a Bay Area kid, but hey, there we go. Thank you, Christian, for defending me. He says, I grew up in the Bay too, but it's Rams all day. Thank you very much, Christian. But we'll wrap it up on that. Perfect timing. This will do it for this really fun edition of the Locked On Rams Postcast. If you enjoyed, please do me a couple things. Hit that like button first and foremost. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the show. Let me know what you think of the Rams going forward. Is 9-8 a reasonable goal for the rest of the season? Am I being too conservative? And can this team be 10-7, 11-6? Let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought of the show, what you liked, what you think can be better. I love the constructive criticism. I want to make the show the best for you as possible. And last thing, hit that subscribe button because this is the place to be after every single Rams game, also every single UCLA game, every single Angels game. I'm your guy after all of that. So please subscribe as well. But that'll do it for this one. Rams win, baby. Rams win. Whose house? Come on, Niners fans. Let me hear it. Whose house? Rams house, baby. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend. Hope your fantasy teams win. Hope all that stuff keeps going well for you. But no matter what happens, it's a good weekend because the Rams are still alive this season. Take care, everybody. Go Rams. Have a great rest of your weekend.